Namaste, my dear friends, and today's the topic is why modern life disconnects us from the soul. How come this happened? So we all live in a very dynamic time when we can see that not almost every day we get different news that distract us from our personal lives, and usually this news are even connected not with our country. In modern times, there's a huge amount of news which distract us internationally. So the modern world, it does everything to distract us from who? Exactly, you. They want to distract you from you, distract me from myself. They try to distract all of us from the only thing that matters to us. And what matters to us the most? Please remind me. Exactly, me. In my life, I came into this reality for myself to experience that what is important for me. I cannot carry responsibility for others. I cannot solve for other people's problems. That's their issues, that's their experience, that's their karma. But I can be responsible for myself. Somehow I decided to come into this lifetime, into this physical realm, to experience something for myself. So eventually, once I experience what is important for me, my soul will be self-satisfied, and maybe it can even move on to higher realms. But if my soul won't fulfill that, what is important, it will get stuck in a loophole of death and rebirth in this world and reality. And yeah, on one hand, somebody will say, well, Vadim, that's so beautiful to have the opportunity to live here eternally. And I can tell you, yeah, on one hand it can be, but not eternally. Each one of us has his own favorite film or music or anything. And it doesn't matter how much you like it, if you will listen to it in a row for over 100 or 1,000 of times, you will eventually get tired of it because you'll know every part of it. So when you know every part of it, then you want to hear something new. But the thing happens that if you haven't done your spiritual practices, then eventually you'll fall into the loophole in repeating the old pattern, or rewatching the old film, re-listening to that old song, replaying the old patterns, the games that you used to play, and a human won't have any understanding how to break the pattern that he or she have created for in such a long of time of life. So eventually, we would forget our souls. The modern life often creates a fast flow of life. It is very noisy, and it tries to fragment our consciousness into a variety of topics. So eventually we will be everywhere and nowhere. That we have a feeling that we're connected with everything, but eventually we're even disconnected with ourselves. So that's why our soul, it mostly speaks very softly, and very often when we have such huge amount of noises and chaos around, it gets drowned. So for that reason, disconnect from the soul leads to the restlessness, confusion, and the sense of emptiness. That even by doing everything what society tells us, we get very let's say, emptied out. I haven't met not in a single, not in a single country, a person who followed the path that society was promising him happiness and that he would be rich, healthy, and happy. I really didn't. I know people that followed their path, but the ones who have sacrificed their personal well-being for the benefit of money and goals and aim, man, in the eyes of others, they would think that they're successful. They should be happy. But no, there's a huge amount of people, which poor people are just having an illusion, thinking that those rich must be happy, or those rich, their life must be savable. Those are rich or popular or famous, everything is good by them. No, that's total bullshit and crap. And this is a lie that is being fed up to everybody. And until you won't reach the top, you're going to follow that carrot like a donkey that they're holding in front of you, so you won't see that actually all around you have more than enough food and opportunity to take care of yourself without relying on that, yeah, money, carrot, popularity, power, that will eventually guide you into direction now from where it will be very hard to return. Because if the person walks too far away into this path, then eventually he can get such karma that it's easier for that person, I wouldn't say to die, but even dying won't help. In next lifetimes, in hell planets, and they will pay out the price for what they have done. But definitely, it's such a beautiful blessing here to be born, that I inspire all to be in the focus with the essence of your spirituality, and keep the remembering that that matters higher than even matter. So how did it all come to that? We're here living in a time where we're being overstimulated. So if you want to tell me a lie, tell me one line, and maybe I will believe or don't believe. I can analyze it, fact check it. But if you will tell me 1,000 different lies with a mix with some real stories, then of course the mind will be confused and won't have the opportunity into understanding, is this real or not real? So, but through this overstimulating, our mind can be focused on topics which are not concerned with us, and we can forget about the things which actually matter to us. So, for example, somebody would organize some, let's say, circus show like a terrorist attack, and then we would all react to that, and then eventually we would get distracted by it in giving in a certain level of freedoms. We would be scared, we would ask somebody to protect us, we would act in a way that somebody should come, take away our power, take away our houses, take away our land, take away our freedom, take away our privacy, take away everything. Just solve this horrible thing. And this is the realm in which we're living, in where we're constantly being feared, so that we would let go more and more of the confidence that in my life I can create whatever I want, and then in my life everything can be good. Because the moment you stop associating yourself with the government or corporations or religion, you start to become free. What does it mean? Energetically, you get disconnected from all of, let's say, that trash, and you start to get a clearer mind. Your vibration becomes more purified. When your consciousness focuses on God, you are being synchronized with God. When you read news, when you read about wars, politicians, and all of the low-level spiritual development people, eventually try to guess with who you will synchronize. You want to be synchronized with corporations? You want to be synchronized with politicians? Do you want to be synchronized with psychopath souls or broken souls or people that have a lot of pain inside? Do you want to be synchronized with something unpure and dirty or broken? Or you would rather connect your consciousness and focus on the Creator, which reflects the perfection. Of course, this is all part of God. He has the black and the white, the beauty and the ugliness, but He is the one that carries the pattern of not being stuck in this illusion. He's over the illusion. So if you ask me who I would put for myself as an example, I would tell any human being, put an example only one: God, the unlimited spiritual beauty, perfection, which is beyond the understanding of a human structured physical brain. This is a wonderful, well, let's say, if you want to at least compare yourself with somebody, well, compare yourself with God. Why should you compare yourself with stupid movie stars or musicians or politicians or whatsoever? Tell me, just tell me, explain me, why do you compare yourself with humans when you can focus in comparing yourself with God? And yes, I understand, it's not for everybody to have inside of their heads a perception of allowing themselves to be synchronized with God. And this also describes in the Veda books that there are different states of spiritual development. On one level, we observe God as something far beyond what we can imagine, and we disconnect from him, from she, And we would say that there's me, also small, and there's God, also perfect. But in the spiritual path, eventually God will show you that you're a reflection of Him. And that's why the next step will be that the consciousness of the human being will unite with the consciousness of God and understand that I'm part of God. That's why the God reflects in me. And that's why if God is perfect and God is beautiful, then I can be also and perfect and beautiful and do my best in reflecting that godly essence which she carries in her and in him all of the time. So of this reason, I highly inspire you not to be distracted to the illusions which are being fed to us by, let's say, the power holders, the illusion holders, and focus our consciousness, our soul, and perception on something that is unlimited, that is perfect from the very beginning and to the very end, which doesn't have actually a beginning and an end. God, Spirit. This is something very pure. And when you don't focus on external validation of other humans and people, but you focus on your feeling of connection with God, then you go beyond the limitations that society pushes upon you. And right now comes a thought of a story from the Veda books about one story. It's about an Indian king, which happened a couple of thousand years ago, how he was traveling with his foreigner minister, and he ended up somewhere in the Himalaya mountains, and there was a family that a couple, a man and a woman, which decided to help them and take them into their house and feed them. And back in those days, when you were a king and you were royalties, then eventually you were for a higher hierarchy. And then when you would, for example, sit down to eat, then first, of course, it's the king. And then by the hierarchy, it goes down and the rest can eat. So they were sleeping by this family. They knew that he was a king, but eventually they were very dedicated spiritual practitioners. So eventually when they sat down and eat, they just started to eat. And then when King saw that they started to eat before him, he got so furious. All of his jealousy and all of his spiritual ego came out. What are you doing? What are you doing? How come are you eating? Don't you see I'm a king? I'm special. You, servants, you're so disrespected. And as a result, they just smiled and said, who do you serve? He said, who do I serve? I'm the king. I'm the one that everybody serves to. It's like, okay, then who is above you? And then he says, like, well, who is above me? Who? I don't know. Well, who has given you this authority? He said, well, this authority was given to me by the priests. Okay, so the priests, who the priests serve? God? Yeah. So above you stands the priest, above the priest stands God, and we serve God directly. So what does it make? So what? That we're standing above you. We're in a direct connection with God, and you are talking with Him through a middle person. So by the hierarchy, you're here, and we're here, and here's God. So please enjoy your food and focus on your spiritual path, as there lies the truth and the answer. After that, the humbleness of the king increased profoundly. He understood that he met a very spiritually developed family, and he had nothing else as to give a deep gratitude for what they have done and respect towards lowering down his ego and his mind in such a humble and profound way, in remembering the real picture of things. So if you know that God is the only authority in this reality, or I'll just tell you, if you believe that there is devil, well, if there's devil, there's God, correct? So tell me, who is more effective to worship? The one that creates suffering and blah, 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 but will give you a small coin in this lifetime. Or somebody who has created even that dude and who has created everything and has the opportunity of creating something even more beautiful. And he's creating something. So I inspire you not to go down to an illusion of thinking that there's powers something beyond God. Even the illusion of the devil is the same part of God. And if you don't understand it, don't worry. Continue a spiritual practice, and with time you'll discover it. As to reach the level of the non-dualistic approach to life, it's a path. It doesn't come so easily, but if you follow this path, you're going to become very strong, very independent, well, very self-efficient, and you will have no desire to show any type of respect to any authority that doesn't follow the values that you carry in your soul. And you don't have to even spend time with nobody who doesn't share your values, because the only thing that matters, it's my relationship with God, as I'm part of God. The rest, it's their personal responsibilities, it's their personal lives. I cannot judge others. I'm not a God who would know what is better for others. I don't even understand until the end how this mystery that we call life came to be. And I much enjoy that I can be an observer and I carry responsibility only for myself. So for that reason, I want to focus your attention on such a simple thought that if you want to be strong, independent, happy, if you want to hear your soul, and if you want to be above any government authority, then just know that all you have to do is to develop a fundamental relationship with your soul through your soul connect, with your higher self through your higher self connect, with the spirit. And the only way how you can make it is to block around yourself the space for yourself. Don't allow other news to come into your reality that are not connected with you. Don't listen to other people's problems if you don't feel like it. Don't invest your time into information, news, stories, blah, 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 which are not connected with you and you cannot test them. Try to keep a sincere understanding that with every investment that you do to your life matters. Every investment that you do into the life of others, it, how, let's better say, it matters only then when you're happy. But if you're emptied out and you're giving your last, just know you're not sharing nothing good. You're actually just sharing suffering, pain, and that what you have inside. And your help will bring only suffering, pain, destruction, and you will afterwards feel, how come it didn't work out? But did you ask yourself, what was I giving? Not on the level of the mind, but on my feeling. Well, was I giving love or was I giving tension? Was I giving inspiration? And support, or I was helping because I was afraid that somebody will think bad of me, or I was helping because I wanted to get some help back, or I was doing it not because, let's say, for the benefit of all, but simply I was doing that because I'm feeling myself very insecure when somebody is succeeding or when somebody is suffering next to me. I cannot watch when my friend succeeds because I get jealous, or I cannot watch when somebody suffers a lot because I feel they're suffering. But who are you to judge others? Who are you to decide how others need to live and what they need to experience? Don't you think it's a little bit egoistic? So I inspire you to relax and to lower down your perception of understanding and responsibility for the one and only person that you actually carry responsibility, yourself. Keep it clean, keep it protected, focus on hearing at your soul. Don't get distracted by illusion, talks, wars, blah, 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 of other countries, people, realities. You know, you came here for yourself, you're going to go away from yourself. You won't be able to take your government, not your culture, not your family, not your children, not your business, not your rewards or cars or houses. You won't be able to take from here nothing. I mean, nothing except your life experience. If you remember that, everything will be cool. So let's focus on the things that truly matter and on the essence. And I'm wishing you all a beautiful week. And let's continue our self-discovery process. Namaste.